purple or blue.
We're gonna keep talking about this, but I'm just gonna let you know that.
Wait, that Noxian? That's
Yeah.
blue.
It's purple.
That's not true.
Wait, can I see?
I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's the Sea of the Deep, right?
Purple.
There's both.
That
in
is
that.
purple. I don't know if they can see that.
There's both in that.
You could zoom in.
Well, it depends what you're asking about. I think the overwhelming color is purple.
It's a lot of purple.
It's okay for colorblind.
I don't
Okay.
think I am.
Hey, I'll accept
Like,
that.
the Kings have blue jerseys.
Wait, so he thinks it's blue?
No, it's purple.
Oh, it is purple.
Yeah.
Who's saying it's blue?
You said it was blue.
Yeah.
Things like bothering me.
We're in it. Hey.
To the mid laner roll queue round table. Pegon's just having a day.
Awful day.
You love being under the lights.
Put the
Yeah,
shades
you can
on.
put the
Yeah,
shades
the
on if
shades
you
on.
want. Although
think
that
it might-
could
I think
mess
you look
up.
better with it.
That could mess up the ear thing that's now
Oh, yeah.
messing you up.
Sheesh. Yeah.
Damn.
I've always wanted to be in Top Gun. You know, I saw that movie and briefly considered enlisting that day. Do you think, all right, who at this table could be a fighter pilot? Who would be the best fighter pilot at the round table?
Not me.
I've never attempted to fly, so yeah,
No?
I wouldn't
I feel like I could do it.
Yeah?
rip it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
BMT, you think you'd be a
I'm-
fighter?
I'm
All right,
good.
so Pegon wins by default.
I'm
No
out.
one else wins.
I'll give up. Even try.
These glasses are not going to stay on the entire time. But yes, we're doing a mid lane round table roll queue. We got BennyQ, Pegon, Ven, and BMT. We're going to be talking all things mid lane. Let's start off a little high level though, for those who maybe don't know your story with the mid lane. Benny, I'll start with you. What's your mid lane story? How did you get into Smite, and how did you get into playing the mid lane?
Damn, that was so long ago.
How old are you?
21,
How long have you been playing Smite?
like 10 years.
My goodness. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, one of my friends from, I think it was elementary or middle school. I don't remember, but they told me to play. I played, got kind of hooked. I played ADC for a bunch of years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, damn, they're always at my purple. So gave up on that, switched to mid, and here I am.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
So it was like shapes and colors in elementary school and then home to playing mid lane. You
Yeah.
knew what the purple buff was because you had just learned the color that day in class.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Well, actually, purple wasn't a thing back then. I don't think. It
As a
was-
buff or like color?
as a
didn't
color.
exist?
I don't know, bro. I was 11. Like, what can I say? I think it was blue, purple and blue.
That's right.
Yeah.
The like the Nox
Mixture. Yeah.
Purple and blue.
True.
Oh, yeah.
My God.
I only see
It's
purple.
embodying
It's
this.
the Nox.
All right. Well, this is like that dress. Did everyone see? What was it? Was it gold?
Gold or
what were
something.
the options?
Green, right?
No,
I think
the
it's.
options
I think
were-
it's.
I don't think
blue.
It was like
Was it
Blue again?
Oh yeah, it was blue and yellow.
Blue and
blue
ye-
or yellow.
there must have
I
been
don't know.
purple somewhere.
It was gold.
Oh, that's right. Because it was like black and blue or.
White and gold.
Oh
White-
yeah,
white
yeah.
and
It was
gold,
the combo
yeah.
colors. Yeah, yeah.
And I refuse to believe anyone saw white and gold. That dress is clearly black and blue.
I saw both.
I think I.
Depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
That's like the voice that, what is it, Laurel and Yanny? Have you heard that? Where
Oh,
depending
yeah,
what the
yeah.
voice says or what you're listening for, you can hear both things. So you started ADC, decided you didn't want to be invaded anymore, swapped over to mid. Pegon, what's your mid lane journey? What's your story?
Well, I started playing because he was playing, so like I just followed him.
How old are you?
How old are you?
He's 21.
Bro, right now?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
How
Wait.
old are you?
You're 19.
Like,
No,
right
wait,
now.
you're 21.
I'm almost 20.
No, I'm 20. I'm 20.
He's 20.
Right, okay.
I'm
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
22
I'm 20, I'm
in
20.
2 weeks.
Okay.
So that's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
We're usually 2 years.
Yeah, I'm 20.
Oh okay.
I started off playing support, and because like I thought it was so cool to like be able to steal objectives with Hog.
Yeah.
So I played Athena and Wukong every single game.
Support.
Yeah. I was like
Was that correct back in the day?
I think Trixting did it. I was
Yeah, you did.
I was his number one fan.
Season 1.
And then when I started playing ranked, I was like a multi-role prodigy. You know, type and fill, first person type and fill.
Yeah.
Whatever I get, I
The
played.
old typing things.
And then
That's right, you had to
Yeah.
immediately spam your roll.
And we've been playing this game for half our lives.
Yeah, this is rough out here.
No, it's crazy.
Wow.
I actually don't know how I ended up in mid. So,
You weren't fast enough on Phil. And then it is only 3
Well,
letters.
mid.
I
Yeah, I
played
kept
jungle
getting
and
stuck.
support. Like season 5 and 6, I was jungle and support. I don't know what happened where I'm ending up in the mid lane.
I played with him once when he was support and I was ADC.
Yeah, I was.
Did you guys
Really?
win?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
distinct.
we
We
didn't
didn't know in
lose.
SEC.
We didn't lose.
We
a
go with
single game.
Sanguine.
I was gonna say, did
And I
you guys
quit.
ever play competitively together?
One split, yeah.
Yeah,
One split.
Hype unit.
I rage quit because I didn't like scrims.
Oh, hype unit. Oh, okay, yeah.
How'd that go? Brothers on the same team.
Hey, we never lost.
No surprise.
Yeah.
All right, so you that was like the Wild West. We're gonna talk about ranked at some point. Was it truly a point where like the hierarchy is just whoever types in the role first? Is that what they get? Is that how it worked? Like if
Yeah,
you just
I
typed
think
in
so.
mid?
Until it was like MMR based at the
Yeah.
time, or Elo back then.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
Elo
the first
won.
person would, like
I'm
whoever
sorry,
it was,
I'm
like yeah, it was pretty much like if you wanted mid and you were the top, then you got mid.
I guess that makes sense. Now you say, I'm Venenu. I literally do this. Give me mid.
It auto selects it now. So
That's true. That's right. You have to queue up. Ven, what's your mid story? How did you get into the role?
I started back in preseason, way back with Panda, Cat, and Scream, and Niruma, all of them. And then, yeah, we all played on teams together, and I swapped from like solo mid back to solo to ADC. And then I played at ADC and ALG, and then swapped back to mid in season 4, and then united and been there since.
Any regrets?
No. It was fun playing mid with Scream back in season 3 when we almost beat Soar back then, which was a top team back then. But
Way back. Yeah, see, my
Scream griefed it though. He ran in 1v5 as outball.
Yeah, Scream was talking. I'll ask this question to you guys later on. I asked Scream on the jungle roundtable what his you need to win a game. What jungle are you locking in? And he said Anubis, and so it doesn't surprise me that he griefed you a bit back in the day. BMT out here. What was your mid lane journey like? How'd you find your way there?
I was just playing ranked a little bit after the launch tournament. I was playing, I just queued up and every support sucked. So I was like, I'll play support and hopefully win some games. And then eventually I got on a team, played support. Then I played jungle for like 2 months. Then went back to support. And then I got picked up on an SPL team, played support for like 2.5 years, I think. I realized I was not a support player. I kept on building damage and stealing everyone's waves. So
Sure.
not the greatest support playstyle, but yeah. Then I moved to mid and been loving life ever since.
You knew you were destined
way.
for something else. Ven, I'm gonna start this question with you because I always like this. I don't know what games outside of Smite, maybe other types of games you play, but if you're playing MMO, any other role-based type of game, not necessarily a MOBA, are you always playing the backline mage type of character? Is that just your play style, or do you feel like you have to mix it up when you play other games?
Usually when I play MMOs, I try to do like either healer or like assassin style, like ninjas or stuff like that, samurai, like that type of style.
So you feel like
That's
you
really
get
fun.
enough of the caster during...
Yeah. It definitely is also like across games. I feel like mages are pretty similar, like kind of across, especially in MMOs. It's usually like pretty basic, unless there's like necromancy. I'm a necromancy fan, so
Understood.
yeah.
Benny, do you play any MMO class-based style games? Nope.
Just Smite. All I play.
If you were to play an MMO, do you think you would play a mage, or do you feel like you would have to mix it up?
I could see myself just playing Mage, actually.
Yeah?
And I kind of play like 4 hours of Merlin every day.
Which is as magey as mage
Yeah.
gets, right?
It's like
True.
peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literal mage. Pegon, you have a pretty eclectic god pool. Feels like your mid lane selections are diversified anyway. Would you say you stick to the casting mage type characters in every game you play?
Usually it's like assassin class or like mage class.
Yeah.
Between those two, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Seemingly fits your god pool over in the mid lane. BMT, how about you? Only casting mage type characters?
MMOs, I'm usually like physical DPS, so
Yeah.
kind of like the assassin area. And never healer though. No, I can't.
I can't do it. It's too much stress.
I'm doing the damage. I'm sorry.
You mid laners, you all want to play assassins. That's somehow you find your way in the mid lane. Let's talk a bit about ranked and how much fun ranked is as a mid laner. The big sigh of excitement from everyone. Are there any pet peeves specific to the mid lane when it comes to playing ranked Smite?
It's gotta be when the support is like not doing anything, and then they're just like there splitting your wave, like not being
Yeah.
proactive at all, and they're just like there.
Yeah.
They just like show up in mid, and they're just not doing anything. It's like, yo, just run at them. Do literally anything if you're gonna be here. Like,
What's the way of life, right? They get told by their ADC they're not needed anymore, and then they go to mid because they don't know what else to do.
They could
We
be
don't want them either though.
Yeah, I, mean, I feel like they can
They
be a
gotta go
mid
solo lane, I
if they're gonna like run it down, like fight someone. Then
Yeah.
go ahead, you know, like be
Yeah.
there. That's fine. But you know, usually they just sit there.
Are you a vocal ranked player, Ven? Are you letting that support know he's got to Skedaddle?
It depends. Like if they've done nothing and they're just like keep coming back, then I'll be like just leave or like just do something.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be a little typing Terrence for a little bit.
Does that win the day for all you guys, the supports, or are there other pet peeves specific to mid lane? That you guys,
that's definitely the main one. Okay, recently support's been coming over the first green buff respawn, and they steal it away from me. I hate it. They've been there to get some extra camp, and mine's just gone to dueling.
So it's support stealing farm.
Yeah, to do nothing.
Yep.
Do you have a best friend role in ranked? Like support seems to be sometimes an enemy. Can they be a friend? Is jungle your best friend? Is it your arch enemy?
You don't have any friends in rank.
It's a 1v9 every game with mid.
Is that exclusive to mid, do you think? Or would you say every other person?
It feels like it sometimes.
Yeah. Hunters probably have it pretty bad. They get kind of spam ganked as well. They can't really move. Yeah, they do have crit though.
1v1 is so easy for them.
That's fair.
I was wondering if you guys, as mid laners, would specifically with ranked, I don't know, maybe the hunters on your own teams, you feel a brotherhood with ADC, or if you feel like a rivalry with that role. You know what I mean? Because you both do the same. You play the same role. You're doing damage. Or do you feel like you and AD carry and ranked don't get along?
If they're good and they're cooking, that's fine. But if they're not cooking and they're just not doing anything, it's not
only
fun.
do so much.
Yeah.
We sell them out at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you go first. You're dead. It's fine.
And I had a thought experiment with some of the with the AD or with the junglers rather when we got in here, and I'm gonna do this with you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a phrase, and I'm gonna pretend that we just load into God Select, and I type this in chat, and I want you guys to predict what my KDA is gonna be in that ranked game. So if we all load into the lobby, you have no idea who I am, and the first message I send is, "Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Let's have fun." What do you
we're
think?
losing.
What do you think? What do you think my KDA is going to be in that game?
That's usually like the
Like 1 in 6, 9k player damage in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, like you're not.
That was the rough one.
Too bad. Like you're not griefing.
You'd be scared to fight, so you literally have no
Yeah.
player damage and completely useless.
yeah.
Is it the overwhelming positivity that makes you maybe feel like that player doesn't have an edge to him?
Like, what are you so happy about?
Yeah, it just makes you feel like they've not played that much ranked.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not
That's probably why
seasoned.
they're happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's deep.
They're so happy.
That's
'cause they haven't
Oh
played
my
much ranked.
god.
How about the flip side? I join a lobby and I say, "Please, I'm one game away from promo. I need this win."
We're still losing.
Still losing.
That usually is like it's then gonna be pretty fun to like int, you know, like
Right.
make that person really earn it.
I just think that maybe they might get a little unlucky.
Yeah.
Or they're trying a bit too hard.
Mm.
I don't know. It's just not a good sign.
Yeah.
I usually apologize in advance, like, sorry he got my team.
Unlucky for you.
That is pretty good.
Sometimes he's a menace in the 2200s. Sometimes
Diamond Elo.
Mhm.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, I'm watching out for you. No, the Dave to Diamond grind has taken a bit of a halt. I lost 3 games in a row, and my mental just shattered. So I'm taking a bit of a break. I'll go on the other end of the spectrum. So we've done nice, we've done neutral. If I join your lobby and you guys get mid, and say I don't watch Pro Smite, and I ask for mid and you say no, and I counter back and say, I promise I'll win, do you assume, 1, do you give me mid, ever? 2, what do you think my KDA is going to be in a game where I beg for mid and you don't give it to me?
Well, I'm always down to off roll, so like it's a good chance I give it. It actually happened yesterday.
That's wild.
Some guy offered me.
You're giving mid to a random?
I'm down to off roll. Like other roles are better.
it's easier to win from jungle.
Yesterday someone offered me a
guess.
trade, but I declined, and he wrote, "I'm better. Give it to me."
Right, exactly.
He played Colkin solo, went 0-8. It was a great game.
So is that now, your assumption is now set, where if that happens again, you're
Have to
assuming
trade.
the guy is going to...
There's usually a good reason why they're asking for it.
It's
Right, I
really
guess
bad
that's
luck
true.
if they don't prove you.
We actually won the game. I'm pretty sure.
They might literally only be good at the role they're asking for.
Yeah.
You did win the game, though.
Not 'cause
Despite,
of him, but
well, obviously not an 0-8. Colin. We have seen many metas form over the years, many mid lane metas. Many of you playing for half your lives, many of you playing for most of the life cycle of Smite. Is there a favorite mid lane meta that comes to mind?
I've only been playing this role for 2 years. So
Out of the last 2 years, okay.
probably plans meta. got to play Merlin and Tiamat. So I'm liking that.
But I can't tell from your tone of voice if you actually enjoy that or not.
No, dude, if I could play Merlin all day and never get
Is that phone or mic pack?
that is fun.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you have a case on it?
No.
No. How worried are you that there's going to be a crash?
I mean, I don't really care. I'll just whatever.
So play-in's meta because you could play Merlin and Tiamat. All right, zoom out of just mid lane. Do you have a favorite Smite meta of all time?
There was that one meta where I was playing ADC and it was starter item Bumbas, you solo red buff, and then you're in lane alone.
Season 4.
And it was just a 1v1 for like 20 minutes. I loved that.
Yeah, it was season 4.
Yeah, because even if I lose, I'm coming back and I'm running.
That's right, we're trying again.
yeah, keep going.
And supports were never in your lane, right?
Yep.
Oh, what a dream.
Blissful.
Pegon, how about you? I know you've only been playing mid for a
Um,
couple years, I guess.
I liked the meta where Raijin was really OP. It was like Raijin Merlin. Also like pre 9.5. That was definitely a lot of fun. Now it's not fun anymore.
Is that that's your favorite mid lane meta? Do you have a favorite Smite meta of all time? You could say the same thing if it is the same.
I don't know. I really liked when Hog was a thing, and I could hog things with Wukong
You
support.
could steal things.
Yeah, it was actually so much fun.
Do you ever worry that you maybe ruined a ranked game? But we've talked about pet peeves.
Oh,
Nobody
ruined every
mentioned
game.
like off meta, picks or anything. Do you feel like you or maybe somebody's pet peeve way back when playing Wukong support? Is that a concern?
Wait, I'm pretty sure like I like set metas early on. Like I used to play Ninja support. I used to get BN'd by the Challenger Cup players. Like tell me that I'm trolling. It was literally so broken, and it became meta eventually. But like I used to get BN'd for that stuff like that.
It was
like,
all you.
I'm innovative.
So it was you that made Naja support happen.
I'm pretty sure it was me.
He was the
Was
first.
that Wukong with Hog? Was that knockup Wukong too?
Yeah, yeah.
It was.
But that was like
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was meta. Like I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
I
that-
saw it SPL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Trix did it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so maybe it was
That
Trix's
was.
fault.
That was.
Ven, do you have a favorite mid lane or just Smite meta of all time?
I thought season 1 was pretty cool with Warlock Sash, old Warlock Sash, and Book of Thaw stacking, and then you go into Rod. I thought that was cool. There's no like yellow Numby proc build. And then season 4 was pretty cool with Doomorb and old Rod. That was the last old Rod.
Do you feel like
And old Doomorb was cool. It was way cooler than it.
Do you think itemization largely dictates what you think your favorite meta is, or do you take into account rotations, map state, those sorts of things?
I think like older items were like pretty unique in their own ways. Like Warlock Sash was based off of how much health you had, you gain more power, and Book was based off of mana, and then Doomorb was 50 stacks, but if you died, you lost half of them. Like I think those are cool like items in general.
Right.
Just like a different play style, I guess, and then different style of.
Well, I'm never fighting if I have Doomorb stacks, that's for sure. That's what that sounds
It was OP though. It was like 1700 gold.
guess it has
and
to
then
be
it was
for the
140 power.
for the risk,
Full
right?
stacked, yeah. That was a fun item, but it's gone forever, probably.
BMT, favorite Smite meta of all time, mid lane or otherwise?
I have a bit of memory loss, but I don't know if it was last season or season before, the Poseidon with Bumbas. I had so much fun.
Was that last
my
season?
god.
I literally played it for like a month straight, and
That might be up there for
solo
me.
winning
Yeah, that
game.
is fun.
That was so fun.
I forgot about that.
Cycle
Yeah,
your
that must have been
CDs.
last
That
year.
was broken.
No.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
I remember playing it.
Last year?
was fun.
Was that last year?
Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was the
It was-
tournament, the Masters that Titans
summer.
won.
Right, because we didn't
Oh,
end
yeah,
the year
okay.
with that last
Oh no,
year.
it was in the middle of the year, I think.
It was fun. Yeah. Cycle,
Yeah, that was
cycle
really
CD.
good. And the
yeah.
start of this season for like two weeks when like Cleo mid was OP.
That's right, it was
That
Assassin's
was-
All
that was-
I started that.
That was great.
You formed that meta?
Well, I started Cleo mid.
Do you regret it?
No.
And you shouldn't.
I never got. No, actually, I got her at one Masters, but it was always banned from me when she was good. Kind of tragic.
Who do you think at this table biggest brain when it comes to forming a new meta?
Probably Pegon. Yeah.
I think I'm the most innovative here.
Yeah.
Do you think
But,
that?
like, there's no thought process behind it. It's just like I want to play this.
Down to whip it.
It'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So it just seems fun.
Yeah.
Is that innovative or
Well,
what's? I don't know what the other word is.
like last year, like if I brought up a character, like Cherry would call me stupid and he would say no. But then then like he would like try to make me explain it. So then it's like innovative because I would have to explain it.
Right. Got it. Right. Well, he just wants he wanted the best for you. He wanted to just pull the information out, really talk through your decisions.
Yeah.
And now that's how all of the role meta discussions you have nowadays, you feel like you carry Cheerio with you a bit, right?
A little bit.
Yeah, understood. If you look at every other role in the game, who's the biggest whiner role that we've got? There's been a lot of discussions, Twitter or otherwise, with metas, roles, who's good, who's weak, who's the loudest. Solo?
Yep.
It's just solo or support.
So-
Depends on your support, but probably solo.
I think it's the tank players. Do you
Yeah,
two
but
agree?
no,
Solo or
fine.
support?
True. They are
I don't
always.
know, I feel like everybody complains.
The diplomat?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
you
know
guys
the
are
names.
pretty
I feel like
quiet,
I hear
right?
solo laners.
Mid laners
the
have
most.
been pretty quiet recently.
Yeah.
Is it because mid is good?
No.
Not anymore.
That
That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't know.
Historically, I don't think a lot of the mid laners even like talk. They just kind of play whatever. It's just like unlucky.
Suck it up.
Just
Still
giving
with
it.
it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just adapt.
Usually when ADCs are bad though, that is the loudest I feel like at the time, and then it goes.
That is
solo,
true.
I feel like.
I haven't heard Zap tweet in a little while.
I wonder why.
Are you in the
No,
previous
he had one a few days ago.
Did he? I've also
Did he?
been.
Yeah,
No,
he said
he
something about
didn't.
tank
Tank
metas
metas
upon
on the
us.
way.
Oh,
Yeah, some-
well, that's probably.
He's
I've been
not wrong.
severely
True.
off Twitter. So
Yeah,
that's
that
that's
is
a
true
point
for
me.
sure. I can't wait for next.
That counts
time.
as
probably
a
gonna
tweet,
happen.
though, you know.
Yeah, for sure. That counts.
Yeah.
On the item conversation, what mid lane item do you guys think would be the most useful in real life? If whether passive or just as an item, like Desolation, I don't know. You're not resetting any cooldowns in real life, so
Cooldowns for what?
Kill someone for that.
well, that's what I mean. So like, literally just like a magical spear or an
Do more.
assist, I guess.
Do more, being faster.
Get MS.
You gotta kill
You gotta
somebody.
kill stuff.
Yeah, but what?
Oh,
Yeah, so what do you?
Odd. You get 20% stronger.
When they're only below
Okay.
50% though.
Uh,
Or 60% now.
Sands
That
of
requires
time.
you to be fighting a lot. Sands of
CDR on the
time.
head.
I don't know what that means, but
What would CDR apply to in real life?
Get somewhere 10% faster.
Maybe.
Maybe you heal faster?
Oh, then I would do Chronos Pendant. Every
Yeah,
10 seconds, I'm getting somewhere
I got
faster.
it. It's just timeline.
Oh.
Oh, another
heck.
life. Yeah, that
good
is true.
And
Yeah.
what percentage health does that give you?
40, right?
Yeah, you don't get your full life.
wait.
back.
No, so no, I just mean
I
it
don't
would
know, that seems
reset
like a
you to
lot.
40% through your life, and that's a pretty good time.
It's not
You two
bad.
and your phone.
Just like me. Dude,
Have you checked your phone yet?
No.
Do you want to?
No.
Okay. Your phone, does that have a case on it?
yeah, it's still cracked though.
Did that just happen?
No.
Oh, goodness. It's right on the corner, too. That's when you know. So what alternate timeline, that's a really good one. I was wondering if Charon's coin would be a good item.
Oh, yeah, that's
No, but,
One-
but all
that's
those
like,
require...
That's like $1.
All those require...
$1
Silver
a
assists.
And it's a coin. It's not even a bill.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but like a nice ancient golden coin.
You gotta kill 7 people.
Okay, we gotta stop killing people.
Just a
Yeah, I think...
Mid roll queue gone wrong.
I didn't think a lot of this through because a lot of those items do require crime to
There's,
happen.
there's like the healing tree, right? The new one.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know what
that's
half
true.
those things do though.
Yeah.
A lot of
that's true.
Asclepius.
Yeah.
You get hurt.
Yeah, you heal a little bit quicker.
free healthcare.
This is not so much in the mid lane. My favorite, so a good bit that I had with Myth on a cast years ago was that the tier 2 Hydras looked really small and weak. You know, it's this tiny little sad
Like a
fork.
fork. Yeah.
And then the upgrade is this massive trident. I think an item that's taken that over now is,
Did you see that?
was it Enchanted?
It's the stick.
The stick. It's literally
Oh,
just
yeah,
blessed,
it's just
blessed
a
scepter,
stick.
I think
Yeah.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's literally a stick that has a firefly flying around it.
Yeah.
That could be the most useless item in the game in real life.
No, you could go on some hikes with that, probably.
Yeah, that's true. If you utilize it properly.
Yeah, I guess.
There's got to be a better tier 1 item.
Could reach
I
pretty
always
far
thought
up.
tier 1 cudgel, the old one. That was pretty.
Wait, are we
Yep.
talking about useless?
Yeah, right. Sorry, I'm going on 2 different tracks here. I still think Blessed Scepter is the most useless tier 1 item.
It is just a
Valid.
stick.
It is literally just a stick. And I guess evolves into some good stuff. I'm all over the place here. This is good. Don't worry, we're tapping in ChatGPT here in a little bit, just to confirm that it can take over my job one day. Do you guys watch traditional sports in any way, shape, or form?
I used to keep up with the NBA, but not anymore.
Okay. Do you know enough to make a comparison, a Smite role to an NBA player position?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or like mid lane to
Yeah,
what
yeah.
on the basketball court?
Mids are the point guards.
Yeah.
And then ADCs, the shooting guards. Jungles, small forwards. Tanks are power forwards. Supports are the centers.
That was the most smooth answer I've ever gotten.
Yep, thought about it already.
Locked in.
Then how about like traditional NFL American football? Are the mids the quarterbacks,
Probably.
you think?
I don't know.
I feel like they would be the supports, maybe.
Yeah, maybe supports are quarterbacks.
You guys could be a running back or
maybe
a wide
the-
receiver, maybe.
The supports are like the linemen.
Mm.
Those are the soul laners.
That's true. They open up the
True.
space. for
Oh
the
yeah,
rest
that's a
of the team
soul
to
liner
operate.
then. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe NBA, maybe the NFL. Also, no one watches traditional sports, so swing and a miss.
Yeah, esports. Come on, man.
Yeah, what other esports does mid lane?
I could think of one.
Yeah, there's some really similar ones out there. Are there any, in your mind, are there any traits that you think make a good mid laner? And that could be play on field, you need to be able to farm effectively, rotate effectively, whatever. Or mental traits. What do you guys think makes a good mid laner?
I don't know.
I mean, just because backliner, probably positioning.
Mm-hmm.
Positioning's probably just a big one in general as a
Is that
backliner.
difficult for you to figure out, do you think?
I don't think you can really do it in ranked unless you're just like baiting your teammates, which is I think a thing that you learn like over time.
Mhm.
But not in competitive. I think competitive is just it kind of just like comes. But you get punished more for stuff for positioning, and then you get used to it.
Trial by fire almost.
Yeah.
Positioning, everyone? Anything outside of positioning you think important makes a good mid laner?
A good mental. You have to
Yeah.
deal with support and jungler all the time.
Both on your team and the other team, right?
Yeah, it's 1v4 in that regard. So
Okay, that was the worst meta though. What was that? 2-3 years ago when always jungler? It was like a 3v3 in mid constantly, always sharing with you. They don't do anything. They just share because.
What do we think about the current 2v2 meta in mid? Jungle sits in mid for a little while at level 2.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I hate it.
It's
Like, you
it's
literally
an
sit there for
interesting
3
one.
minutes, or
Yeah.
like you get your 12 gold from mid camps, maybe.
Yeah, there's literally nothing to
Shit.
do. You just
Yeah.
go into mid as 2 and you're just there.
Yes.
12
like,
gold
okay.
gets you a quarter of a potion, though.
Yeah, but then you also use 2 potions to not die to them.
yeah, it's a bit of a net loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Positioning and strong mental. I think you're well on your way to being a good mid laner. All right, before we move into AI-generated questions, and there are actually some really good questions. I'm not going to lie. I think they're better than some of those stuff that I wrote. Off-meta God. I know this half of the table's got some fun answers. BMT, if you load into mid, you have to play a mid lane character that's not necessarily considered a mid laner. Who are you playing?
Probably Wukong
Mm-hmm.
every game. Yeah.
Would you say
Well,
that's
I-
your favorite Smite God, or do you just like the way?
I just think he kind of suits mid. Just he's got the wave clear. He can also just survive ganks,
Sure.
engage. He kind of has it all. But I'd probably just play half the warriors at least.
Right.
Maybe all of them.
Benny considered Wukong a mid laner. Was that how long ago was that? Was that 2 years ago maybe?
That
Was that a
was-
Winter Dogs meta?
That was the Winter Dogs. That was the SEC land.
Yeah.
Right before Worlds.
Wukong once or twice.
Yeah.
That's right. Ven, what off role or off meta mid lane pick are you picking?
Surtur. When that guy just came out, he was so fun in mid.
Have we seen Surtur mid in the SPL?
Yeah.
We've seen Surtur jungle. Maybe that's what I'm
That
thinking.
guy was so
He needs to
fun
play
to play.
solo before he plays mid.
True.
I think
That's
we've
true.
seen Surtur jungle because of
Sino.
what Sino
Sino,
more than
yeah.
we've
Yeah.
seen Surtur over in the solo lane.
That guy was fun though.
Yeah, Surtur's fun.
You're right on the head.
I got bopped by a Surtur in ranked. That actually might be one of the reasons I haven't played in 3 weeks. So I didn't realize it was a Surtur mid, and I was playing ADC, and I got stunned and just bonked in before I knew it. I was dead, and I hated it. So I like and dislike that answer. Pegon, off meta mid laner. Who you locking in?
Right now, I'm
Yep.
feeling like a Gilgamesh mid. Pretty good.
Just like
Gilgamesh
like doing some
incoming.
drop kicks. And
Yeah, that god's actually so much fun, but kind of sucks right now.
have you pitched that to the team yet?
Oh, for sure.
And they shut it down.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Who's dampening your flame the most on that team? You say Gilgamesh mid, and who's the first one to be like, nah?
Oh, so like our duo lane is actually like they're like anti-troll, but like
Oh.
the rest 3 of us were like we run like run
Really?
down every
A
single
lane with Jake is the
Yeah.
most anti-troll?
Jake's actually the least troll player ever,
No kidding.
Wow.
'cause he hates dying. So like
Right.
he dies once, like you can hear him sigh, his mental's gone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's just a sad boy after he dies.
Sad. All right, so Net and Jake locking down the on-meta picks for you. Benny, round us out here. What off-meta mid are you picking?
Well, I've been playing Atlas a lot.
It is true.
Yeah. He's ranged.
He is
Has
right.
damage. Has CC.
Mhm.
Prot shred for your ADC.
Does some damage.
He's really safe into certain matchups.
Mhm.
And yeah.
All right, we're sticking with Atlas then. All right, the time has arrived. I'm going to pull out the phone because I have some questions written down. So I went online and I asked ChatGPT, write an interview for I forget what I essentially said SMITEPro League mid laners, and some of them are actually pretty good. We'll start with this one. There might not be great answers. How do you adapt your playstyle to different matchups and team compositions when playing in the mid lane? Do you feel like you have to adapt your playstyle to the lane matchups that you're presented with? And how do you do that?
It's way too complex.
Well, like lane matchup.
So an AI made that question.
If it's like team comps, I mean, it'd just be different between like dive comp or like they're playing front to back or back to front type of style.
Yeah. Sure.
Like that's just.
I feel like there's so many like different possibilities because of all the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Do you feel like on a game-to-game basis you are having to adapt how you're playing the game, though?
Like, yeah, I think, especially with someone like Agni, for example, like you can start fights with your 2-1, you position up higher, you can kind of play for peel as well on your carry as a damage dealer, something like that. And depends on their jungler and solo.
Yeah.
It's like it's different game to game, I think.
Yeah, I want you to walk me through every single possibility.
Fun.
All right, so ChatGPT did not know its audience, and my job is free for now. I like the mindset behind it, but maybe a bit too open-ended. Can you walk us through your decision-making process when it comes to rotating and roaming as a mid-lane player? I think this is a decent question. When deciding to rotate or roam, what is that decision-making process like?
Well, if you haven't cleared the wave, you've got to decide if you want to lose the wave or not. That's one thing that you've got to decide already. You've got to take into mind where their mid is. If they're doing the same thing as you or thinking the same thing as you, you've got to think if you're going to be there first or not, I guess. And obviously, if you clear the wave, then you just dip before the other mids and you get the rotation priority. So,
Anyone else have a different thought process from BMT? Is it all based around mid-wave farm control?
Probably about like communication as well. Like if you're gonna rotate early to something, or like you're gonna sack a wave, be like, yo, can someone cover the wave? So you don't just like lose the farm to the tower.
Worst case is when you sack the wave and you rotate, and then your team don't do anything. And the other mid just sat in mid, and they've like cleared the wave, invaded your red, and you're just like, I just have 6 of that.
Yeah, it's also like. I also think about what you can do afterwards, because if there's like a low chance of something happening, and you rotate and you sack a wave or like a buff, it's like pretty bad already. But like you can do it if like it's more so guaranteed, or if there's like you can pressure them out for like an objective or like a invade yourself, and then it's like, sure, I'll invade or like rotate instead of just sitting there.
How many teammates is worth your red buff? So your red buff spawns and you know that a gank is about to happen on one side of the map and you've got to rotate to it. This is my question, by the way. The AI had no idea what I was talking about. You're standing between your red buff and a fight that's happening. How many teammates need to die in order for it to be worth one way or the other in your mind?
Sacking all 4. No. I mean,
For what it's worth, junglers, I asked about their speed buff, and they did essentially say everyone.
I think 3 is an honest answer. It has to be 3 or more for it to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'll
sack it.
over, I guess, whatever.
That's probably a duo lane.
But
fight.
2, if it's just 2, I mean, hey. I mean,
if it's the support, you're just laughing.
That is true.
Unconcerned.
I think 3's honest.
Okay. Everyone on board with 3?
I feel like if I'm getting a kill, I don't care about the red buff. Like
That's
anything for a kill.
Dude, the red buff
I would lose
so
2
pretty
waves
around
for
you.
red buff.
I don't know.
All right, so maybe depending on if you can get a kill or not.
I don't care if they dies. If I get a kill, it's worth it.
Yeah, that's a good. So the bad part of that question was definitely from AI and not from me. Back to question. It's kind of the same as question 4, but different. I don't know how you're supposed to answer this one. How do you communicate with your team during the early game to ensure optimal coordination and objective control? How are you guys communicating with your team?
Say good or bad.
Yeah, backing on spikes,
Good.
I guess.
Nah, bad.
Fair.
Slow,
Jungle's ganking
fast.
Left. Don't die, Jake. Jungle's ganking solo. Don't die.
They die anyway.
Dies anyways.
I'm telling Oath no a lot. I feel like.
Well, you guys, I mean, mid is pretty pivotal to early game objectives, right? Whether it's Furies or Pyros. Certainly, you guys have a say in that decision-making process. Or are you told to go and you kind of got to just go?
No, I feel like on a spike or something. Like if you just pull an item at a base, then you can like kind of call it. But
I feel like mid is so important right now. Like having pressure or like priority mid is so important, just because there's no like, other than the objectives, there's no like neutral like scorpions back then. So it's like being able to set up somewhere and make the decisive like move is like so important.
Yeah, that's a trick question because AI wants us to teach it how to communicate, and we got to be careful about that. Next question. How do you this one's fun. How do you deal with being behind in the mid lane, and what strategies do you use to catch up and stay relevant in the game?
When you're pulling a buff or like a red or a speed, and you clear it just enough before they get in range of leashing the XP, and you say sorry, but you didn't actually mean it.
Yeah.
Of course not. Of course you're not sorry.
You have to dash to your wave before they can split it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why all the range, like super far range characters are broken. You
The
clear at their
biggest-
tower.
Support pet peeve is when you dash to split your wave.
Oh
That's right,
yeah,
you see it
yeah,
get
yeah.
dash
Walking over is, like,
rotating over,
whatever,
you
but
see
if
the
when
little icon, and then he dashes
Oh my
before they
god,
get to
that's
wave.
actually the worst. Like,
What about when they dash and then they like split the wave like right there and they get gone on and die because they don't have a dash? Yeah, that's great.
Solo clear your whole red buff, and then they come when it's 1 HP.
Oh, and sharing over the wall.
I
Yeah.
just lost 100 HP. 150 HP.
All right. Support is in mid. You just died, unfortunately. It doesn't happen often, but it happened. A wave is about to hit your tower. You may or may not make it there on time. Do you want your support to try to hold it for you, or does it tilt you if your support takes? Does it tilt you if your support ends up taking the wave? If there's a chance you could get back into lane in time.
they gotta be holding it.
if
and
there's
then,
a chance,
and they leave
then
to dual lane after you hold it.
They hold it and then they dash
Don't
away.
split.
And then you clear.
Right, they leave
Yeah.
with
That's
the
Best
dash.
case.
Not only are they not dashing in, they're actually dashing
Away from the wave. Yeah.
Right. I'm sure all of your teammates on your pro teams are really accepting of that mindset. This is a good one from AI. Can you describe a memorable play or game that you were a part of as a mid laner in the game Smite? It really had to remind itself what we were talking about here. Anyone have a memorable play or game from your Smite competitive history? I guess it can be out of the mid lane for those of you who have
Yeah,
flopped around.
I got mine from Worlds in season 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ryzen play, and then in between tier 1 and tier 2 tower, and I was just like drumming down right into everybody, and dashed on someone, and then juked ice, and then went back towards the team, and then he had to perma chase me the whole way, and then Mike ended up killing him after, and we traded. But
Dream scenario.
it was so fun. That was a hype moment.
Back when Raijin was it.
Yeah, drumming 5 people in a row, or 3 people or something, 4. Yeah, it was.
That's got to be, I think, because mid lane has so much AoE. I'm such a small-brained person that like the itch, or the itch gets scratched anytime like big AoE abilities hit a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think Raijin has that potential. How about the other 3 of you? Any memorable plays or games from your Smite competitive career?
I feel like I got some pretty cool Yuhong ults last year.
Yeah, you did.
Good moments.
Not the quad at Worlds.
Oh, yeah, but I lost that, so like.
Yeah, that's true. But that moment was pretty sweet.
That was a good moment.
I'm sorry I brought it up.
Neomod jumping away so I don't get a pentakill. It's full HP support in the team fight and he jumps away.
Thank God for it too, because I was casting that and I had no more gas in the tank. If the penta had happened, I was done for. So it ended up working out okay for me. So some Yu Huang moments. Benny, BMT, do you have any moments that come to mind?
Mine would be my first play-ins when I got a double roll on
That's right.
Dardes and
I
Foe.
I remember that.
And then I killed Kivo diving me with.
I remember the raw games.
It's either that or
Neomod run away too.
my first ever SPL game last year. I think I was like 13-1 on Zhong or something, and I literally was 1v9. Like,
Did you win that game?
I won the game. I lost the set.
You won the 1v9
Yeah.
game. That's what matters.
My first ever SPL game.
Your first ever SPL game. BMT, round us out here. Memorable games or moments?
I don't remember the game. I think I like 1v4'd AMC Titan Defense, and we won the game off it. The AMC's just kind of Mickey and broken. Once the honey's on the floor, you don't
Doesn't
need
matter.
to. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You made it work.
And maybe from Worlds when we played Bolts in Game 3 when they when the Jingwei game when they dove the mid tower and we just like engaged and won. That just felt so good because at that point I feel like we were gonna win it all. If we could win that fight, it was.
Oh, we knew that one was over after that. We did know it was over.
And now we're bouncing away from competitive history and we're going back into how to play mid lane. Thanks, AI. How do you balance farming and harassing the enemy mid laner in the laning phase, and what are your priorities during that time?
Right now,
Yeah.
a lot of the time I feel like I feel like farm is nearly always like farming as a priority is always better right now, just because like I feel like you don't get punished for backing, right? Am I the only one that thinks that? Like,
Yeah,
you don't really
you're pretty
lose
close to
anything.
mid always.
Get to mid hella fast, and it's like, I mean, if there's like a buff spawning or like maybe you can play an objective if your side lane is winning, then I guess poking would be better. But I would say most of the time farming is.
So it's not much of a balance. It's just
Yeah.
farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably just depends on the matchup as well.
Sure.
If you're in a good matchup, then you obviously just go for poke or kill potential rather than just focus on farming, because you deny them farm and you control the map. So
Right. But it's a safe idea to focus on farming a bit more. Final question from AI. What advice would you give to someone who is new to Smite playing the mid lane role?
Pick a different role.
yeah, be a
Go
jungle.
jungle.
Yeah. Now that role is something else.
All right, I'm
sure to have a
Timmy,
friend.
and I've decided to play Smite, and I have to play mid lane, or else I'm gonna cry. I have to play mid lane. What advice do you give me?
Just focus on farming and then playing your own game.
Try your best.
To
That's
not
a good
die to
one.
the jungle.
I think do what you're good at.
Yeah,
Like
play your own game, not like be forced to bounce to somebody else. That type of thing.
Do you think mid lane is an adaptable role play style wise? Do you think it's
Yeah.
you can?
yeah. I think I know it's weird coming from me, but all the mages have like their own like individual strengths,
Yeah.
and you just play to their strengths.
What do you think the easiest? Say I'm playing mid lane gods for the first time. Who's the easiest mid laner for me to pick up?
Damn.
Are they all hard?
Well, I feel like it's like raw. Like it's kid's super simple, but like it's not. A good
Like yeah,
What
like,
position, like position
like
on raw?
new yeah, I don't know.
Like-
Like new player, I guess like straight lines, sure, raw, but like
Hulk
at top
maybe?
level.
all Hulk and
Yeah.
stuff.
Just drop tornado, drop my ult.
Yeah,
once in a
true.
while.
Yeah,
I feel like Merlin's kind of like the default mage nowadays. It's like
yeah.
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, it has all three styles as well. I think that's such a good character to start, but
Yeah.
it's also complex.
a lot of
But
buttons.
Stance switching would hurt my like if I think back to when I first started playing a MOBA in general. I think stance switching would have been a lot for my brain.
I think it's good because like even if you don't know how to choose the stance, you're just like playing a different style when you're swapping
I
stances.
guess that's true. You're always going to switch to something right,
Yeah.
whenever you press your alt. All right. Last couple of questions here. We're back to non-AI questions. You have to win a game. I asked this to the junglers, and remember, Scream said Anubis, and I didn't believe him. You have to win a game of Smite. BennyQ, what god are you locking in?
Merlin
Okay.
thing.
Why is that? Just your most comfortable god?
Yeah, most hours on that guy. Play him all the time.
I can tell you love Merlin.
Yeah, no.
When was in your mid lane history? What was the least viable Merlin meta you can remember? And was it
It was
a sad time for you?
It was the AMC fight for pyro. No, not fight for Scorpion meta, where it's like, yeah, I just pick him to lose because just never winning a fight
Sad.
early game. Yeah.
So Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
Pegon, who you have to win the game.
Probably also Merlin. Yeah.
You two,
But-
brothers.
Like I feel like I kind of lose a lot on that character though.
It can be in ranked maybe, or do you lose ranked on that character all the time too?
I don't know. Like in SPL games, we get behind, but I'm always like, yeah, I'm Merlin. I'll carry eventually. And then I feel
That's
like I
true.
lose most of the games though.
That's not your fault though, is it?
No help.
It's never.
Yeah,
remember
It's your
that.
team not
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
you to the point you need to be at, right?
Yeah. It's a frontline issue, I think.
Definite frontline issue. Then who you picking? You need to win your game.
Probably Chiron.
Why is Chiron?
Huh?
Why Chiron?
Favorite god. Love that character.
Is that actually your favorite god?
Him or Merlin are both mine.
You want to say would you
No,
have
no,
said Merlin if they didn't say Merlin?
Actually, always Chiron. For sure. That character is so cool.
Chiron is a lot
Big
of fun.
fan.
Chiron is a lot of fun. BMT, what god are you picking? You got to win.
If I'm feeling it, probably Ra.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like if you hit every snipe, the glass is
Oh
so
yeah,
easy.
that feels good. Yeah.
It,
Yeah,
like
it's
it,
over.
like the way I see it is like if you hit the first like 2-3 snipes and they're like raw snipes, then the rest of the game you're set.
You're in their
At
head,
that
right?
point. Yeah.
They're questioning their positioning at that point, why they're even playing the game.
You're just
to begin
toying with them. So.
That's right. Final question for all of you at once. What is the best role in Smite? Mid.
Jungle.
Jungle.
Mid.
Jungle.
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 Tanks.
Mid. Tanks.
Tanks.
Mid.
Tanks are
Anything
OP.
but mid. No, I'm.
Mid, says the table. This is
Jungle.
The SPL
Thanks.
Roundtable.
Jungle.
Thanks to BennyQ, Pegon, Ben, and BMT for sitting down with me. Stick around. More content coming up next. Bye.
More?
What?